It's very nice to see people seeing each other that I haven't seen in a while. It's been very pleasant for me seeing a number of faces that I haven't seen for a while as you've come through. So this is the David Morrison Lecture is always a very pleasant event. It's so nice to see friends that we haven't seen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Harun Akmalodi, and I'm the chair of the Department of International Development Studies at Trent University, and it's my great honour and privilege to welcome you here to the 6th Annual David Morrison Lecture on International Development. The way the evening is going to work will be like this. The president of the university, Stephen Franklin, will start by making some opening remarks on behalf of the university. And then Professor Emeritus David Morrison is going to introduce Professor Manfred Bienefeld, and then Professor Bienefeld will give his lecture, and then following from that, we'll have a question and answer session. And knowing the people in the audience, I'm sure that there'll be lots of questions because I think this is going to be quite a provocative lecture tonight. And so without any further ado, we'll get started. I'll ask Professor Stephen Franklin to come to the podium.
Thank you, Harun, and welcome all. This is a great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of Trent University to the 6th Annual David Morrison Lecture in International Development. This is one of many lectures that the university does bring to the Peterborough community, and I believe this enhances community based on our sharing knowledge. And I think we'll see more of that in the coming year. This we'll begin our 50th anniversary celebrations in August 2014. 2014 to 2015 is our 50th anniversary. So for those of you who would like to be informed about the events that are coming up, there is an email alerts program that we do have, and you just sign up on the sheet in the lobby. So it's a pleasure to welcome you all here tonight, and also for me to welcome and thank Dr. David Morrison and Dr. Elena Heitlinger, without whom tonight's lecture series would not be possible. David and Elena. So just a little bit about David and Elena. David is a professor emeritus. He was the founding chair of the Comparative Studies program at Trent, which did evolve into the International Development Studies program. He did hold a number of leadership positions, including Provost and Dean of Arts and Science, Director of the Trent International Program, Director of the Trent in Ecuador Program, and President of the Trent University Faculty Association. And he retired in 2007. He received the Eminent Service Award for his exceptional contributions to the university. Elena, Dr. Heitlinger, is a member of the Sociology Department at Trent and is the author of 8 books and numerous articles on gender, ethnicity, health, and public policy issues. She has been the recipient of the Trent University Distinguished Research Award and has served twice as the chair of the Sociology Department. David and Elena established this lecture series to bring globally renowned scholars to share their groundbreaking work in the international development field with the Trent and Peterborough communities. A real power couple, obviously, at Trent University. We're very, very fortunate to have them. So tonight's impressive speaker is an excellent reflection of David and Elena's wishes in establishing this lectureship, and I believe this lecture tonight will be a tribute to you both. So on behalf of Trent University and the Peterborough communities, thank you for your vision and generosity in creating the important lecture series. And it is only one of the many legacies that I think we can trace back to David and Elena's time at Trent. And so I will ask Dr. David Morrison to come up and give a more complete introduction to our speaker. Thank you and welcome, David.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, I'm just delighted to welcome tonight Manfred Bienefeld, not least because we are, in fact, welcoming him back to the town that he grew up in. I only realized this last night. We've known one another for a long time, but the Peterborough connection only came out at dinner last night. His family migrated from Germany when he was a child, settled in Peterborough, and he was, in fact, at the late lamented PCBS as a youngster, and he remembers drag stripping up and down George Street. So, welcome back to Peterborough. Manfred went on to study at the University of Toronto and then earned his PhD in economics at the London School of Economics. And then he went off to Tanzania with a very interesting group of people, Canadians among them, who tried to rethink approaches to development and come up with an alternative to the then prevailing orthodoxy. He then moved to the University of Sussex, where he was a stalwart within the Institute of Development Studies, much renowned institution, for development policy and development analysis. Manfred was at Sussex from 1972 to 1986 when he joined the faculty of the School of Public Policy and Administration at Carleton University as Professor of Public Administration, and only very recently retired from that position. Manfred has had an extraordinary record of scholarly achievement and critical policy analysis. His publications, papers, public lectures, testimony to Canadian parliamentary committees are legion. They've spanned a vast array of public policies and issues, commodity and capital markets, labor and employment, technology and industrialization, development and the environment, historical perspectives on development, and theorizing about development. He's made an especially important contribution to the critical analysis of the neoliberalism that has pervaded and dominated public policy over the past 30 years. And a very important and insightful contribution to the critique of the neoliberal orthodoxy that has characterized much of the dominant discourse in economics during that period of time. His work has profoundly challenged that orthodoxy through his analysis of state and national capitalist experiences in Southeast and East Asia, and his current research is focused in particular on China and what one can learn from the Chinese experience. Manfred's also been extraordinarily active in several scholarly associations and policy networks. He's been on the editorial boards of numerous journals. I first came to know him when, in the late 80s and early 90s, he and I joined Kerry Levitt-Kalani and others in building up the Canadian Association for the Study of International Development, CASA. Some of my most memorable experiences at CASA were listening to lectures by Manfred Bienefeld. He is a gifted, extraordinarily insightful and dynamic speaker, and all of you are going to appreciate that as I now turn the microphone to him. Welcome, Manfred.
Thank you very much, David, for the effusive and maybe slightly hyperbolic introduction. I hope I can live up to the expectations. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to come back to Peterborough. Any of you who know the film American Graffiti, this was my Peterborough. And I loved that period of my life. Unfortunately, after graduating from U of T and after my parents left, I have not been back. So it's been a wonderful experience to revisit old haunts and to rekindle old memories. I'm extraordinarily honored